Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, the truth of the matter in this country is that William Samuel Ruto is the president-elect. Whether that will change, it will depend on how the Supreme Court is going to handle that case. But the question I'm asking on this Punchline today, assume that William Ruto will be sworn in as the next president of the Republic of Kenya. Will he manage to fight corruption in this country? Or let me put it this way. Can UDA government manage to fight corruption in Kenya? I'm asking this because I'm well aware that William Ruto has an active case in court to do with corruption. Same to his runmate Rigathi Gachagua, who is the deputy president-elect. The Asset Recovery Agency was on Gachagua. In fact, some of his properties had been seized. And there is something that was shared by the People's Daily in the newspaper with the headline, State Agency in Dilemma Over Ruto Gachagua Assets. Look at that. Why dilemma? The dilemma comes in because we are talking about a president-elect and the deputy president-elect. And this is what they are saying. 3 state agencies are facing a dilemma over how to handle court case involving the property of President-elect William Ruto and the Deputy President-elect Rigathi Gachagua after the two were declared the winner of the hotly contested August 9 election. Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, the Asset Recovery Agency, and the Director of Public Prosecution are faced with the ethical decision of whether to push on with the or go slow on the suit that involve asset seizing. That is the issue. The story goes on and on and on. Now, this is a case facing the president-elect with his deputy president-elect. And we know the problem of this country, corruption. So the question we are asking on this Punchline today, will William Samuel Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua help this country to heal from the corruption that has derailed the development of this country? That is what we want to try and analyze here. But before we go deep into that, just a quick request. You might be watching this channel, but you're not yet subscribed. So my humble request, please consider subscribing so that another time, once we release a video like this one, you will always get notified. Again, to all our channel subscribers and anyone who drop comment, I must say thank you so much for your unconditional support. Again, I'm requesting you to give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend our videos to more viewers. Back to our discussion. Now, there is something the Deputy President William Samuel Ruto said some time back when he was campaigning, and he has been saying this repeatedly, that if he will be elected as the next president of the Republic of Kenya, one of the first things he will do in his first 100 days will be to scrap the immunity against the president. Presidential immunity. We all know that any sitting president has an immunity whereby you cannot take him to a court. You cannot sue a sitting president. If you have any case against him, you have to wait until he finishes his term in office. Then you can go to court and sue the president in his capacity as an individual. Ruto said he's going to scrap that. So the question is he going to implement that. The truth of the matter is that, of course, Ruto was just playing with the mind and the emotions of Kenyans, because this is something that is in the constitution of Kenya. For you to do that, of course, you need Kenyans to discuss about this issue. You have to involve public participation into this issue. Lazima wananchi waongelee, hata ikiwezekana it will need a referendum maybe for you to change that. So it is not a small matter that you think someone can just wake up and say, I'm scrapping this, yet it is in the constitution of Kenya. And you know how tough the constitution of Kenya it is. You can't easily change things into that constitution. So that will never come to happen. For you to heal this country, the only thing you need to do is just to have a strategy to fight corruption in Kenya. Once you solve that, then Kenya is the best place to be. It will be another heaven on earth. It will be a place whereby everyone will be rushing to go and invest. In fact, you are going to attract more investors into Kenya, because Kenya is another hub for East Africa and even Africa at large. But corruption has even made people who had interest to invest in Kenya, to provide job opportunities for the jobless here, to run away and do their investment in other countries. Ndio maana investors unaona wanaenda Kigali, Rwanda, wanaenda Uganda, wanaenda Tanzania, na wanaacha Kenya. Corruption. You just set up a factory or a company, a processor, plant. The corruption that comes with it for you even to set up, and the heavy taxes that you face, it makes someone to think of going to another country and do the investment there. Now we are talking about someone who can solve this. Raila had explained how even is going to get money to provide the 6,000 monthly stipulates to the poor families. And he said he knows where the money is. And of course, he was going to close the loopholes of corruption so that he can have this money. But now you're talking about an individual who is a president-elect whom can easily become the next president at any given time, getting to power. Yet we are talking about some of his properties, which he amassed fraudulently. Western Hotel. We're talking about that one and other issues. The question is, if Ruto has a plan to fight corruption, the first thing he should do is to surrender the acquired property fraudulently. We are talking about the Western Hotel, which is sitting on the JKIA. So the best way for Ruto to assure Kenyans that he can fight corruption as a president, in case he's sworn in, then the first thing is for him to surrender such a property or that property back to Kenyans. It is a government property. Then from there, and he do that with the other things that they are in court, they are questionable. Then from there, even the juniors who will be working under him will now understand that corruption is something Ruto has a plan to fight. But as long as he will not do that, it is going to be very hard for anyone even just to think of Ruto is fighting corruption anywhere in this country. We all know what Rigathi Gachagua said. He said that his frozen money, pesa zake zenye zilikuwa freezed, once they win this election, he's going to take that money and build his mansion house. Then wakuwe na nyama choma huko, akiongea na wazee na wamama wakikunywa uji huko jikoni na wamama wenzao. That is the plan that Rigathi Gachagua has once they become the deputy president. The first thing for anyone to trust this team is for him to allow the asset recovery agents to take what it belongs to Kenyans. Then from there, we can trust this team can change something in this country. As long as this cannot happen, as long as Rigathi Gachagua will fight to have his money back, how can anyone trust them? They can fight corruption. How will the juniors who will be working under them desist from the corruption activities? They cannot. Because now you have a team here which has shown a good example of people who glorify corruption. And then you want to tell your juniors to stop corruption process. It might not work. That is the situation we are facing in the country as of now. So how can Kenyans trust such kind of leadership that it is going to deliver what belongs to them? That Mama Mboga will do their business free there, no harassment, no overtaxing, and all those things, that the collected taxes from Kenyans, zile wanatoa kwetu, they are going to do development in this country, and they are going to do the right job intended for. So that you are not overtaxing people to get money that has been lost through corruption. So this is the kind of leadership you are going to face. There's a possibility they might become just your president. And that is a team that it might lead you in this country. So Kenyans have to ask themselves a question. What if the Supreme Court open another window to call for a rerun in this election? Kenyans have to think more about that. It's a serious matter. It's a serious case. And you can easily lose trust in this team as far as fighting corruption is concerned. The only way to fight corruption, they have to serve as the first example by giving to Kenyans what it belongs to them. Giving back to government what it belongs to the government. Then from there, we can at least trust them. Anything less than that, then we are going to endure another 5 or 10 years of worse or worst leadership in this country. That is my view. I don't know what to think about this. And I don't trust that this team is the right team to fight corruption, because they have shown a bad example of fighting corruption. That is my own view. I don't know what to think about this, but let us meet in the comment section so that we can have a continuation of this conversation. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening to me. May good God bless you, and see you in our next video. Now, we are seeing some political parties that were in Azimio now decamping to the Kenya Kwanza side. Even independent members of parliament who were elected are now decamping to Kenya Kwanza side. What do you think about this? I think that's going to be our next analysis, and probably early in the morning we will release that video. So make sure you watch our morning premium. It will always come at 6:30 a.m. See you in our next video.